मनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरवनचारी यमुनातीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे जय पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 श्री राधा माधव अष्ट सखी वृंद श्रीमन महाप्रभु की जय। श्री श्री पंचतत्व की जय। श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेद भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायैष भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भागवते उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवतीर्नैष्ठकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, text chapter 26, named Fundamental Principles of Material Nature. Text 3. Anādir ātmā puruṣo nirguṇaḥ prakṛteḥ paraḥ pratyag-dhāmā svayaṁ-jyotir viśvam yena samanvitam anādir ātmā puruṣo nirguṇaḥ prakṛteḥ paraḥ pratyag-dhāmā svayam-jyotir viśvam yena samanvitam anādir ātmā puruṣo nirguṇaḥ prakṛteḥ paraḥ pratyag-dhāmā svayam-jyotir viśvam yena samanvitam. anādir. Mataji, anādir. Anādiḥ, without a beginning. ātmā, the super soul. Puruṣaḥ, the personality of Godhead. Nirguṇaḥ, transcendental to the material modes of nature. Prakṛteḥ, paraḥ, beyond this material world. pratyag-dhāmā, perceivable everywhere. svayaṁ-jyotiḥ, self-effulgent. viśvam, the entire creation. Yena, by whom samanvitam is maintained. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the super soul and He has no beginning. He is transcendental to the material modes of nature and beyond the existence of this material world. He is perceivable everywhere because He is self-effulgent, and by His self-effulgent luster, the entire creation is maintained. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is described as being without beginning. He is Puruṣa, the Supreme Spirit. Puruṣa means person. When we think of a person in our present experience, that person has a beginning. This means that he has taken birth and that there is a history from the beginning of his life. But the world is particularly mentioned here as anādi, beginningless. If we examine all persons, we will find that everyone has a beginning. But when we approach a person who has no beginning, he is the super person, supreme person. That is the definition given in the Brahma-saṁhitā. Īśvaraḥ, paramaḥ, Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna, the Supreme Controller. He is without beginning, and He is the beginning of everyone. This definition is found in all Vedic literatures. The Lord is described as the soul or spirit. What is the definition of spirit? Spirit is perceivable everywhere. Brahman means great. His greatness is perceived everywhere. And what is that greatness? Consciousness. We have personal experience of consciousness, for it is spread all over the body. In every hair follicle of our body, we can feel consciousness. This is individual consciousness. Similarly, there is supreme consciousness. The example can be given of a small light and the sunlight. The sunlight is perceived everywhere, even within the room or in the sky, but the small light is experienced within a specific limit. Similarly, our consciousness is perceived within the limit of our particular body. But the supreme consciousness or existence of God is perceived everywhere. He is present everywhere by His energy. It is stated in the Vishnu Puran that whatever we find anywhere and everywhere is distribution of the energy of the Supreme Lord. In Bhagavad Gita also it is confirmed that the Lord is all-pervading and exists everywhere by His two kinds of energy, one spiritual and the other material. Both the spiritual and material energies are spread everywhere, and that is the proof of the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The existence of consciousness everywhere is not temporary. It is without beginning. And because it is without beginning, it is also without end. The theory that consciousness develops at a certain stage of material combination is not accepted herein. For the consciousness which exists everywhere is said to be without beginning. The materialistic or atheistic theory stating that there is no soul, that there is no God, and that consciousness is the result of the combination of matter is not acceptable. Matter is not beginningless. It has a beginning. As this material body has a beginning, the universal body does also. And as our material body has beginning on the basis of our soul, the entire gigantic universal body has beginning on the basis of the Supreme Soul. The Vedanta Sutra says, Janmadi Asya. Thank you, Prabhu. This entire material exhibition, its creation, its growth, its maintenance, and its dissolution is an emanation from the Supreme Person. In Bhagavad Gita also the Lord says, I am the beginning, the source of birth of everything. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is described here. He is not a temporary person, nor does He have a beginning. He is without a cause, and He is the cause of all causes. Paraḥ means transcendental, beyond the creative energy. The Lord is the creator of the creative energy. We can see that there is a creative energy in the material world, but He is under this energy. But He is not under this energy. He is prakriti paraḥ, beyond this energy. He is not subjected to the threefold miseries created by the material energy, because it is beyond it. The modes of material nature do not touch Him. It is explained here, svayaṁ-jyotiḥ, His light Himself. We have experience in the material world of one light being a reflection of another. Just as moonlight is a reflection of the sunlight, sunlight is also the reflection of the Brahma-jyoti. Similarly, Brahma-jyoti, the spiritual effulgence, is the reflection of the body of the Supreme Lord. This is confirmed in the Brahma-saṁhitā. Yasya prabha prabhavatah. The Brahma-jyoti or Brahman effulgence is due to His bodily luster. Therefore it is said here, svayaṁ-jyotiḥ, He Himself is light. His light is distributed in different ways, as Brahma-jyoti, as sunlight, and as moonlight. Bhagavad Gita confirms that in the spiritual world there is no need of sunlight, moonlight, or electricity. The Upanishad also confirms this. Because the bodily luster of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is sufficient to illuminate the spiritual world, there is no need of sunlight, moonlight, or any other kind, or any other light or electricity. The self-illumination also contradicts the theory that the spirit soul or the spiritual consciousness develops at a certain point in material combination. The term svayam-jyotiḥ indicates that there is no tinge of anything material or any material reaction. It is confirmed here that the concept of the Lord's all-pervasiveness is due to His illumination everywhere. We have experienced that the sun is situated in one place, but the sunlight is diffused all around for millions and millions of miles. That in our practical experience, Similarly, although the Supreme Lord is situated in his personal abode, Vaikuntha or Vrindavan, his light is diffused not only in the spiritual world, but beyond that. In the material world also, that light is reflected by the sun globe, and the sunlight is reflected by the moon globe. Thus, although he is situated in his own abode, his light is distributed all over the spiritual and material world. The Brahma-saṁhitā 5.37 confirms this. Goloka eva nivasatya akhilatma bhutaha. He is living in Goloka, but still he is present all over the creation. He is the super soul of everything, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he has innumerable transcendental qualities. It is also concluded that although he is undoubtedly a person, he is not a puruṣa of this material world. Mayavadi philosophers cannot understand that beyond this material world there can be a person. Therefore, they are impersonalist. But it is explained very nicely here that the personality of Godhead is beyond material existence. Om ajnanatimirandhasya jnananjanashalakaya chakshorunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya manobhishtam sthapitam yena bhutale svayaṁ-jyotir dadati svapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Paridanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Prabhupada, one of the purports in the third canto, is explaining there are varieties of Vaishnavas. There are Vaishnavas that follow the Sampradaya, and there are Vaishnavas that are not part of any Sampradaya. Therefore, the chanting of the holy name is powerful enough that even without initiation, one can still make it back to Godhead. But if we take on to the initiation, we take on to the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, we take on the process of deity worship, it becomes easier for the process of Harinam to take you back home, back to Godhead. The second canto and third canto are a practical example that without having the mercy of the spiritual master and an explanations, it's very difficult to understand what's given here in Srimad Bhagavatam as well. So here, we are going through the Sankhya philosophy explained by Lord Kapila to his mother. And just in the previous shloka, we'll just read through the translation so we can get connected to the present shloka. The personality of Godhead, Kapila continued, "My dear mother, now I shall describe unto you the different categories of the absolute truth, knowing which any person can be released from the influence of from the modes of material nature." So our way through of how to get through the modes of material nature were very difficult to overcome. In Krishna in Gita, he is explaining, "Mama maya duratyaya." My material energy, it's very, very difficult to overcome. And here Kapila Dev is explaining, I'll tell you the truth, the different categories of the absolute truth, by which we can be released from the influence of the modes of material nature. In the next shloka he is explaining, knowledge is the ultimate perfection of self-realization. Right? So without knowledge, very, very difficult to understand who am I. Okay? So I shall explain that knowledge unto you by which the knots of attachment to the material world are cut. Because without cutting the knowledge, without cutting the attachment to the material world, it's not possible to get attached to the spiritual world. Therefore, as Srila Prabhupada is explaining here in the purport of the third shloka, he says, the materialistic, the Mayavadi philosophers cannot understand that beyond this material world there can be a person. Why? Because their whole concept is connection to Maya. It's called Mayavad. It's the philosophy based on Maya. Unless and until you cut those knots of attachment to Maya, you cannot understand what is Krishna. And because they are not into cutting the attachments of the material modes of nature and getting attached to the Krishna, it's difficult to understand that he is a person. They understand there is something beyond the material world, but they cannot accept it that it's a person that has a form. Right? So therefore, they claim God is impersonal. And when he wants to become personal, he has to follow in Maya. He'll come to the material world, he becomes a person. And then, when he's free, he's completed what he wants to do over here, he becomes impersonal again. Very confusing situation. Therefore, they always are very, very expert in this word, they just juggle around with the words. And they move. So one devotee, he makes a joke. There's a Mayavadi disciple. He learns. Shankaracharya, one of his statements, important ones. He says, Danda dharana matrena naro narayano bhaved. As soon as a person becomes sannyasi, he's holding the danda in his hand, he becomes Narayana. He's not a regular human being anymore. So therefore, anybody who wanted to argue with Shankaracharya, he would say, first take sannyas, then we can have a discussion. I took sannyas when I was 5-year-old. You take sannyas, then we can talk. Why? Danda dharana matrena. Just by holding the danda, the sannyas danda in your hand, he becomes Narayana. Same level. So therefore, in their sampradaya, when one sannyasi meets another one, he says, Namo Narayana. I bow to the Narayana. Right? So then he replies, Namo Narayana. I bow to you as Narayana. And then the funny concept is, they accept the Narayana as a supreme person, a supreme being, and therefore by holding the danda in my hand, I become Narayana, and then they go and worship Mahadev. They worship Lord Shiva. Very, very difficult to understand them. Right? And then they will come up with the statement as one of the Mahavakyas, Tattvam asi, I am that. That as what? That they don't describe. This is, that's me. Tattvam asi, I am that. Otherwise, the another one is Shivoham. I am Shiva. Namo Narayana. I am Narayana. I am bowing down to Narayana. But when it comes to explaining that you have to take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that time they are, no, I am the Godhead. I am Narayana. Why? Because I have taken up sannyas. Right? Very, very difficult people to understand. And when they say how this material world and everything is functioning, oh, that's impersonal. Right? One of their branches, they're coming as, there was one Babaji, coming from, not a Babaji, he is a Grihastha. coming from the Sikh Sampradaya, the people with the turbans on in India. The Nirankari Baba. And over there, they made a statement, Ek tu hi nirankar. Only you are impersonal. Everybody else is person. But you are impersonal. Why and how is he impersonal? And if he is impersonal, if he doesn't have a personal form, how can he be supreme? I am better than him because I actually have a form. He doesn't. So how and why is he the only person who is impersonal? When he becomes impersonal, it's acceptable. Why? Because I can become that. I can become God. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada here in this purport, 2-3 places, he is explaining. This point is not acceptable. He's very, very straightforward. Srila Prabhupada never beats around the bush. Doesn't try to be politically correct. He just goes, this is nonsense. You are a rascal. Right? Why? Because you come in these kind of statements. Right? A few places he explains. This is not acceptable. The theory stating that there is no soul, that there is no God, and there is no consciousness is the result of the combination of matter is not acceptable. No, he is able to explain. In the very first very first paragraph, he says, Krishna is a person. He is the oldest of all. He has experienced everything. Therefore, he is able to give us everything. Why? Because he is a person. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is described as being without beginning. He is Puruṣa, the Supreme Spirit. As we say, oh Prabhuji, I know you, I know you, I know you. I know your background. You have been in the movement for X amount of years. We are childhood friends. Right? Oh, he used to do these kind of things when he was a kid. Oh, I am his grandparents. I have seen him take birth. Right? So there is a beginning for every person. But Krishna is a person who has no beginning. Very difficult to understand. Therefore, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains, he says, we have an experience of 2-dimension, maximum 3 dimensions. Where the material world, it gets into 8 dimensions. Now, how do we understand that? We have 0 experience of it. One of those things is without beginning. Krishna is so old. And at the same time, he looks like a very young boy. Right? He always looks like a 16-year-old. He's mature, but at the same time, he has this sweetness of being a child. He is very, very unprotected. So the gopis, especially Mother Yashoda, she feels, I need to protect him. He needs to learn. He needs to have an experience. So therefore, when Krishna is going out for the first time for tending cows, Mother Yashoda, she is positioning different people in different places. Right? All those cowherd boys who are elder to Krishna. He says, okay, so Sridham, you walk in the front, you walk in the right side, you walk on the left side, you walk behind him. And Shastra explains, they are walking around with swords in their hands. Why? Oh, what if some Rakshasa attacks? What if, we are going inside the jungle? What if there are wild animals? Right? There is a description of there being a tiger in the jungle. In the pastime of Bahula. One of Krishna's cows, Bahula. Right? She's grazing around, there's a tiger attacks, tiger wants to attack the calf. Cow says, I'll take care, don't worry. The tiger wants to eat the cow. The cow says, well, I have just given birth to my calf. Let me feed her. I'll come back. Why would you come back? Why would you come back to be eaten by me? Once gone, you're gone. She says, no, I'm Krishna's cow. I'll keep my words. Okay, convinced. Go. She goes, feeds the calf, says, I'll not come again. Why? Oh, there's a tiger who's going to eat me. What? No, ma, I want to follow you. No, baby. You have to stay, grow up. The rest of the cows are there to take care of you. Krishna is there to take care of you. I have to go. I have promised the tiger that today he can eat me. No, ma. Oh, no. Okay. Cow comes to the tiger. Tiger says, yes, I was waiting. I'm very hungry. I'm going to eat you. The calf comes. Oh, no. My mother, please don't eat her. Eat me instead. Tiger says, soft meat. Tasty. I'll eat the calf. Oh, Krishna comes. No. Don't eat. You're my calf. She's under my protection. Now, what am I supposed to do? This is my food. Find something else. This is my cow. Right? Gets protected. And then Krishna says, you behave like such a selfless person. You could have ran away and not come back, but you kept your words, saying my promise, that I'm Krishna's cow, I keep my promise. You came back. The child, the calf, she wants to sacrifice herself for your protection. Let this day be called as your day. Therefore, in Kartik, we celebrate Bahulashtami. Right? It's her day. The day that she's putting herself front, saying, what? I'll keep my promise. You can, I'll give my sacrifice for you. I'm Krishna's cow. So, it's there. Why? Krishna is a person. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada says, thinking, the Lord is described as the soul. What is the definition of the spirit? Spirit is perceivable everywhere. It's in the form of consciousness. He says, there is every pore of our skin, there is consciousness. Right? If you get pierced by a small thorn, many Matajis are going out, getting flowers in the morning for making garlands for Radha Madhava, Panchatattva, Narasimhadev. Right? And it's so funny. They have some of them, they have their garden, some don't. So those who don't, they go around at 2 o'clock stealing flowers. Right? Why? They want to make garland for Radha Madhava. So they go around stealing flowers at 2 o'clock. Because if they go at 2:30, somebody else has already stolen those flowers. Right? So in that process, going around flower to flower, tree to tree, plant to plant, you get pierced by the small thorns. A small pebble. Right? Why? There is consciousness. Krishna has put it over there. But is that consciousness bothering you? Is that thorn bothering you? No. Because there is a higher consciousness. Even though the thorn is, it's piercing me, it's painful, sometimes it's bleeding, but that's okay, I got that flower. Right? That flower right over there, I got it. I had to put my hand through all those bushes, got scratched by those thorns, it's okay, I got that flower. Now, that flower sometimes works as a beautiful pendant on Radharani's garland. Right? And when the curtain opens, you see all these mothers, hey, that's my one. That's my one. And sometimes when during festival, there are so many flower garlands, they become so upset, my one is not seen today. They are crying. Why? Because they put their higher consciousness in serving Krishna. Going around, waking up at 1:30, taking bath, going out at 2 o'clock, it's dark, using their phone as their torchlight to see where the flowers are, going there, getting there. Sometimes you see this bakula flowers or the parijata flowers, they are fallen on the floor because they only blossom at night. And before the sun rises, they are already fallen on the floor. Therefore, Krishna He has been so merciful. He says, the bakula flowers and the parijata flowers, even though they have fallen on the floor, I will still accept them. Right? So they go around picking these flowers. The other flowers which you cannot use when they have fallen on the floor, they put these nets under the tree. So it falls over there and then it can be used. This season right now is full of flowers. Right? Winter is meant for vegetables. You can cook a lot of varieties of things. Right? But summer is meant with flowers, fragrance. Why? So it's cooling. In the afternoon, we see Radha Madhava are sitting in their pond. You can go offer flowers. I remember very first time in 2004, when it's a nice ceremony. In the evening, Radha Madhava is there. We are offering this flower. I also got a flower, got a name. Janani Prabhu used to sit there giving names. You can say, whatever name you would get. Om Krishnaya, Esha Pushpanjali, Om Krishnaya Namaha. So take those flowers, give. And then, after the whole program is over, Radha Madhava goes back. The flower is taken, the lotus, fill it up with water, put it on your head, and you go drenched. Right? And then, you go again and again, 2 times, 3 times, 5 times, until all the flowers are over and the pujari is tired of putting on your head. People keep on coming. And then, once I had the flower, I was like, yes, this flower is such a blessing. If I smell this flower, I'll get bhakti. If I search this flower, there must be bhakti inside. And to my surprise, when I opened the flower, there was tulsi leaves inside. Right? Oh, this is bhakti. You eat, you feel that connection to Krishna. Why? He is the supreme consciousness. He's pervaded everywhere. And Srila Prabhupada gives the example of the sunlight. Right? Where if there is a small candle, it will give light here. You turn on the light, it gives a little bit over here. But the sunlight is all over the universe. For millions and millions of kilometers, it's there. But even the sunlight has its source in Krishna. Srila Prabhupada explains. We are we see the moon. So beautiful. Right? When you want, these poets, especially the romantic poets, when they want to describe the beauty, it's many times reflected, described through the moon. The moon is so beautiful. Especially the full moon is so beautiful, so attractive, so pleasing. You can just sit there and just watch the moon. In Shastras they say, moon is the mind of Krishna. Right? So pleasing, so attractive. Where does that get its energy and light from? From the sun. Where does the sun get it from? Oh, it gets it from the Brahma-jyoti. Where does the Brahma-jyoti get it from? It gets it from Krishna himself. So Krishna becomes the cause of all the causes. And he himself has no cause. He's standing there on the altar, but he is sitting over here among all of us within our hearts. Right? As consciousness. He's stationed, but he's moving. He is there everywhere in the universe, but he is still connected in Vaikuntha, in Vrindavan. He's situated. So, Krishna, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, being everywhere, understanding everything, being in our hearts at all of the time, inspire us to perform devotional service. And therefore, to think of him as being somebody who is impersonal, who has no form, it's very, very painful for devotees. Why? There was one time recently when Mataji, she was saying that she thought, she has a 5-year-old daughter. So let me teach her Srimad Bhagavatam. So then they started reading Bhagavatam every day. Right? And they went through the first canto. Now she's thinking, second canto, third canto is too philosophical. What my 5-year-old will understand? let's just skip it. Then she thought, maybe let's not skip. Just read through. She understands, she understands. If she doesn't understand, doesn't understand. It's okay. Let's go through it. And she keeps on reading. Right? And then she's, over in Bhagavatam, second canto, is explaining of the greatness of these mountains and these oceans and this and that, the universe or the universal form, everything. And then it says, this is all Krishna. And when the daughter of this 5-year-old, she's listening, and when she hears all these things and all these different descriptions, at the end she starts laughing. And the mother is like, why are you laughing? He says, that's it? They couldn't explain something more about Krishna? Look at him, he's standing on the altar, Madhava, he's so beautiful. Yeah, explaining he's the ocean, he's the mountain, he is this, he is that. Just understand, he's standing in the altar. This 5-year-old, somehow or other, understood the second canto of Bhagavatam much more easily than the mother had thought she would explain it to her. Why? She's born a devotee. In her, we don't know how many lifetimes she has already heard and understood Bhagavatam so many times. She's able to relate to Krishna as a person. Right? Many times we invite devotees, please come to Sridham Mayapur. We are having such and such festivals. We'll come for the book marathon. Come. The typical answer you get from Indian families are, whenever we get called by the Lord, we will come. We can only come when, the divine arrangements are there. And how much more divine can it get that a Dhamvasi is telling you, please come? The devotee sitting in the temple is telling you, come. What do you want? The Lord to come and say, here is an invitation card? No. Krishna is calling through his devotees. Right? What you got to do is just make up your mind and come. No. Like the story in the Bible. The man is there, it's flooding. Right? He's there. No, I'm waiting for God to come. Okay, somebody comes on a horse. Come, let me take you. No. I'm waiting for the Lord to come. The flood is rising. Here there is a camel. Come. It's very, the flood is rising, you will die over here. No, I'm waiting for the Lord to come. Now it's very high, the boat comes, this is the final call, come. No, I'm waiting for the Lord to come. The man drowned. Goes to heaven, hey God, how come you didn't come to me? I came 3 times. I came on the horse, I came on the camel, I came with the boat. You neglected me every single time. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada says, this kind of mentality is not acceptable. We cannot think him as somebody without qualities, somebody without a form. No, he has a form. We have to understand it. We have to accept it. He is the greatest. He is older than everybody else. He is the prakriti paraḥ. Paraḥ means beyond. To understand him, it's not possible to understand him in the material way. It's easy to understand him in the spiritual way, just like this 5-year-old. God is is the sunlight, he's the mountain, he's the ocean. He's standing over there. And Srila Prabhupada, he asked one question, who is God? So this Indian gentleman is talking, he is the supreme power, he is this, that. There's a small girl, Saraswati, 5-year-old, another one. Hey Saraswati, who is God? Hey, God is Krishna. You don't have to be so indirect. He's right there. He comes again and again. Why? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya ca dushkritam dharma samsthapanartha. He comes to interact with the devotees. And, there was one Vaishnava, he said, Krishna comes to interact with his devotees. In the process, he kills the demons. He doesn't come to kill the demons. He comes to interact with the devotees. Demons become a side point. So paritranaya sadhunam is more important than to vinashaya ca dushkritam. And when he is interacting with devotees and killing the demons, already the dharma is established. The religion is established. For him, it's more important, let me go and see what my devotees are doing. Therefore, when Krishna comes, for first 10.5 years, he didn't even bother. He just stayed in Vrindavan and he performed his activities. When we think of Krishna in Vrindavan, do we think of him as, oh, he's the one who killed Putana, Trinavarta, Shakatasura, Bhaumasura? No. What do we think him as? He's a makhanchor. He's stealing butter. He's performing, Rasa Leela pastime. He's lifting up the Govardhan hill. He's taking the cows out for grazing. He's spending time with the cowherd boys. These are the thoughts. Why? Because that's what he does. When he comes to Mathura, he's hanging around with his friends. Oh, look at those clothes. They are so nice. You cannot take it. Why? Oh, this is meant for Kamsa. You can't take it. I'm God. I can do whatever I feel like. No, you can't take it. One slap, he died. Oh, look, those are flowers. Oh, let me make some garlands for you. Oh, yes, decorating his hair, wearing them as garlands. Oh, you're so nice. Oh, look, there is this old hunchback woman having some chandan. Oh, I would like to take some chandan. He's in the mood of God. Let me take some chandan. Let me take these flowers. Let me take. Oh, yes. Let me apply. But it's for Kamsa. No problem, but I will make another one. He prayed. Oh, you're an old, ugly hunchback woman. Let me bless you. Put his foot on her toe, his fingers on her chin. Made her straight. Oh, she's so beautiful. Then she says, oh, you made me so beautiful. I would like to spend some time with you. I love you. Come to my room. And Lord Balaram is standing right there and Krishna becomes so embarrassed. He becomes so shy. Not in front of my elder brother. We can meet separately. Don't speak like this in front of my elder brother. And then Lord Balaram is making fun of him. And then he goes, oh, this gigantic, massive elephant. Drunk. Killed him. Pulled his tusk out. Those two humongous wrestlers. No problem. Right? It says when Krishna entered the wrestling arena, everybody saw him in a different way. Right? The cowherd boys are like, yay, Krishna, you can do it, come on. The Yadavas are like, oh my God, what if he dies? Kamsa is like, here comes my death. Right? So Krishna is seen as a person. And for that, as is explained in the second shloka, we need to learn the knowledge which can cut the knots of attachment to the material world. And how do we do that? By understanding Krishna. First point, to understand Krishna as a person and beyond the existence of this material world. He's perceivable everywhere because he's self-effulgent, and by his self-effulgent luster, the entire creation is maintained. So here is my relationship with Krishna. I am maintained by him, by his energies. So therefore, I can approach him, I can find him anywhere and everywhere. Right? Recently, this very nice movie came out, Mahavatar Narsimha. And everybody went and saw. Very nice, right? In there, what is said? Hiranyakashipu is there. I am the greatest among the entire creation. And at one point, he just starts becoming bigger, so big that even Mount Meru looks small. And what is Mount Meru? Mount Meru is going all the way from the earthly planets up to the Brahma-loka, and Lord Brahma is sitting over there, but he's still like big. And Mount Meru is something insignificant lying down over there. He becomes very, very powerful. Oh, huge, humongous. And then, as explained, Krishna is beyond this. This huge, humongous Hiranyakashipu is standing there on the palm of Lord Narayana. Right? And then he's figuring out like, this is a problem. I thought I was so supreme. Right? Got benedicted by Lord Brahma. Nothing created by you can kill me. Not in the morning, not at night, not inside the house, not outside the house, nor by weapons, nothing by live or dead. Not human, not animal. Okay. Here I come. Narasimha. Right? Not man, not animal. He's half man, half lion. He killed him by nails, which is not dead nor alive. It's not weapons. On the threshold, which is not inside the heart or outside. He's not up in the sky nor on earth. He's on the lap of Narasimhadev. Right? Completely finished him. Kept all the promises that Lord Brahma gave him. Yeah, there is a very beautiful pastime after Narasimhadev had killed Hiranyakashipu, is roaring, is destroying everything. Prahlad Maharaj came, pacified him. Lakshmi Devi came, pacified him. He's peaceful. He's interacting with devotees. Everything is finished. And Sudarshana comes. Sudarshana is very upset. One of Sudarshana's name is Achyuta Priya. He's very, very dear to the Lord. He's always there on his right hand. Right? Always there with the Lord. And Krishna will only use him as the last thing. When nothing else is working, he will use Sudarshana as the last thing. Why? Because Sudarshana is so quick and fast to go any amount of distance, kill any amount of demons, and come back. Takes him a moment. But that moment of separation for Krishna is like, oh my God, I send my Sudarshana away. It's so dear to him. That one moment feels so long for him. So he never lets him go. He's always with him. This person, somebody so dear to Krishna, becomes upset. Oh, I didn't like it. Narasimha is like, what happened? Why are you upset? He says, you know, my Lord. You know how much I like to go through this and cut these demons into pieces who are harassing your devotees. Why you did not use me? He said, well, Lord Brahma had given him the blessings that he cannot be killed by any weapon. You are my weapon. And Lord Brahma is my devotee. I cannot get his words go in vain. I have to keep his promise. And Sudarshana is like, I am your devotee also. What about my desires? I'm very upset. So then Narasimhadevi says, okay, I'll take one more form in which I'll be called Sudarshana Narasimha. In my 4 hands, I will only hold you. So 4 hands, 4 Sudarshana. And I'll sit behind you. So the devotees will first have to take your darshan. Right? And we'll pray to you. After taking your darshan, taking your blessings, when they go around doing parikrama, when they come behind, they will see me sitting behind you, holding 4 Sudarshana. And they will get my blessings. Why? Because you are very, very dear to me. So, with devotees, Krishna says, they can bind me. Narad Muni sold Krishna in Dwaraka. Right? Okay, Krishna come, you're sold. Right? They can do whatever they want. The gopis, oh Krishna, you want some makhan? Lala, you want some makhan? Yes, I want. Okay, dance for me. Right? Here the demigods are saying, Ananta Koti, Brahmanda Nayaka, you are the hero, you are the controller of millions of universes and this and that. You want makhan? One handful of makhan? You have to dance. And Krishna is dancing. Why? Because he loves to become a puppet in the hands of his devotees. Those devotees who have given up everything for his pleasure. Those who consider him, everything, their life and soul. So, cutting down all attachments coming from the material world, getting connected to Krishna, understanding him as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, as a person with consciousness, believing in him, having interaction with him, and with his bhakti, having that in mind, that yes, we are going to perform this bhakti and going back home, back to Godhead, becomes the first point in self-realization, as explained by Lord Kapila to his mother Devahuti. We'll end over here. Somebody would like to have some comments, Prabhuji?
Thank you very much, Prabhu, for an enlivening class. I have an unusual question for you. Why is it that it's so difficult for the soul to realize the Supreme Person?
There is a shloka in Bhagavad Gita, aham sarvasva prabhavaha mattaha sarvam pravartate, right? I am doing everything. So we, being part and parcel of the Lord, also have the same attitude. I am the Lord of everything. I manage everything. I control everything. I want to control. I want to enjoy. And if in that somebody else comes and says that he is the controller, and so I don't like that person, right? Because he's challenging my authority, right? I have worked very hard to come and sit on this chair. Now you come and say you are better than me and you are going to sit on this chair. You are going to become in charge. It becomes very, very difficult.
But then little babies, they don't have that attitude, do they?
No.
So
When you are a servant, it's a very, very pleasing position. When a person is a servant to a proper master, the master takes care of the servant very nicely. The child doesn't have to think of paying the bills, getting the food, cleaning the house. He is enjoying. And he's fully controlled by his parents. At the same time, the child, with his personal way how he's interacting, he's fully controlling the parent. So Krishna, when he's interacting with his devotees, gets fully controlled by his devotees. At the same time, devotees are ready to be fully controlled by Krishna. But when we want to start controlling, that's where the problem starts. So the servant is in a much happier position than the master, because master takes care of the servant. But when we want to become the master, then we have to take on the responsibility of, bringing the money in, organizing the things in a very nice way, to make sure everything is there, have to fight with so many people outside who don't want to give money. That's where all these things happen. But if I'm the servant, I don't have to take care of all these things. It's my master's job to take care of me.
that was certainly Srila Prabhupada's mood.
Yes.
I mean, coming to America with so little money, no support, but he knew Krishna was there for him.
Yes. So, and also when they asked in England, when they asked Srila Prabhupada, why are you a poor man coming from a poor country to our country? Why have you come here? He said, I have come to give you something that you didn't loot from India.
So, say it again.
That you did not loot. Right? You stole, you brought, all these things that you stole from India, you brought it to England. But the biggest treasure of India, which is Krishna Bhakti, you forgot that. So I have come to give that to you. You didn't bring it with you. So that I have come to give that to you. That's the real treasure. So as long as we think that we are the controller and enjoyer, it's very difficult to take Krishna as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, because now I have to work for Him. But as soon as I figure it out that I'm in a much happier position serving Him, that problem is solved.
Just listening to a class that was entitled Ignoring the Supreme Controller. It was Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita. Right.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So, you have mentioned somewhere in the lecture, Mount Meru is going up to Tapaloka, Brahma-loka. I have a little, because I have gone through Vedic cosmology, please correct me. The Mount Meru is the part of Bhumandala, center of the Bhumandala, out of the 9 part of the Bhumandala. Sorry, Jambudvipa. And yes, it is going to other loka also. But how much please correct me. So I have heard that Brahma or other demigods are coming and enjoying on the top of the Mount Meru. So coming and enjoying, that means they are coming from their loka, or it is touching all these loka and going to Brahma loka. So please clarify me, Prabhu.
There are many, there are different rishis explaining the universe according to their visuals. Right? So the way how they see it, they are explaining. One of the explanations is Mount Meru goes all the way up to Brahmaloka, and Lord Brahma is residing above Mount Meru. There is another description that on top of Mount Meru, then Ganga is directly falling right in the center, and it flows out on 4 directions, making 4 parts. And there is Lord Brahma has a position there, Indra has a position there. I think Yama and Kubera, they also have their positions there. So different rishis have explained it in different ways. So therefore, to exactly say that this is how it is very, very difficult. Because in Ramayana there is an explanation that Hanuman, when he is going to Dronagiri to bring the mountain to cure Lakshmana, he goes up to 32,000 yojanas. 1 yojana is 8 miles. So he's going up to 32,000 yojanas, and over there he comes midway of the universe. And from there he is seeing the entire universe, and Mount Meru is higher. Right? So depending on where you see, it's a lot of changes.
Another, yes, thank you so much, Prabhu. So another doubt was like the Dhruva Loka is, we can able to see the Dhruva Loka, which is higher than the 2 lokas, I guess. So, but still we are not able to see the nearest loka, which is Swarg Loka, at least as like Dhruva Loka is at least visible, some kind of brighter or something. But other lokas, Tapa Loka, Jana Loka, we are not able to see. Is there any reason behind that? Or
they are not just one planet. Just like Bhuloka is divided into 9 islands. Right? So Jambudvip is only what we see, and only Jambudvip is surrounded by the saltwater ocean. Right? So everything else is surrounded by so many things else. Now, you see the Milky Way. Milky Way is the Akasha Ganga. And Ganga Devi, one of her names, I forgot the exact name, but the translation is, it comes from, through the universe, it comes all the way up to all the 7 planetary system. It goes all the way down up to Patal, and it goes back up again. So I forgot that exact name, but that's one of the descriptions of Mother Ganga. So the different stars that we see, like the Jupiter and things like that, they are part of the heavenly planets. The moon itself is a heavenly planet. So some of those heavenly planets you see, but Dhruva Loka is way beyond everything else. And one of the blessings that Krishna gave to Dhruva Maharaj was that you will have a kingdom bigger than your great-grandfather, that's Lord Brahma. So therefore he gave him a part of Vaikuntha. So Dhruva Loka is within the universe, which is actually bigger than the universe. So therefore, I was talking about this, so many dimensions which we don't understand. So the Dhruva planet is one of such things. It's bigger than the universe, but it is situated within the universe. And it's eternal. It doesn't get destroyed. Even when the Mahapralaya happens at the end of Lord Brahma's life, Dhruva Tara is not destroyed. So it's like that. Okay. So we'll end over here. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.